What's up, guys? We are back for another X-Men review, another Marvel Legends Apocalypse Wave review. Today we're taking a look at Jamie Madrox, the Multiple Man. So this is one that a lot of people have been really looking forward to, not just because of liking the character, but because of the army building possibilities that he brings to the table. I don't think I'm going down that road, but I am interested to pull him out and see what he has to offer. He is, of course, in our standard Legends box. Big window, figure inside, Build-A-Figure piece. X-Men logo down there on the bottom. This one is a little wonky. And then on the back we have got a product shot as well as our lineup and that Apocalypse Build-A-Figure. So let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. Alright guys, here he is out of the package, our Multiple Man, Jamie Madrox, and after this review, if you're interested in snagging one for yourself, or 3 or 4 or 5, check out BigBadToyStore.com. I will put a link down below so you can try to grab one on your own. But this is a figure that I have been interested in. He's not been at the top of my list for this particular wave just because it's full of heavy hitters, but I am a classic X-Factor fan. This guy is in a costume that I am very familiar with. It tugs on the nostalgia strings for sure. So let's just jump right into it, and we're going to take a look at, of course, articulation first. So as far as movement on this guy is concerned, he is on the Bucky Cap body, so you kind of know what to expect here. He's got some reuse arms. I want to say these came on Red Skull or something like that. Someone let me know if I'm wrong. I don't have the particular figure, but I know I've seen him before. There's not a lot new on this guy, and of course he's got that classic Marvel Legends trench coat going on. So the head is on a ball with a disc, so you can look down, we can look up. He doesn't really have any side to side, but he can swivel around. He is going to hit the collar on that jacket, but, you know, that's still good. He's not going to go, 360 anyway. That's unnatural. Arms can go out. We can swivel. We do have a bicep swivel. We only have a single jointed elbow, but it does rotate, and it does get a little better than 90, so it's cut in such a way that it will move quite well. We've got hinged and rotating wrists. He does have an ab crunch. Of course, the jacket is going to get in the way a little bit, but it's not too bad. He can still bend back and forth just fine. Waist twist, of course. And then we've got legs that go out that far. They kick forward. We kick back a little bit. Thigh cut. Double jointed knees. We have got the boot cut. We've also got rocker and hinge at that ankle with a lot of motion. That moves all over. So in terms of articulation, he has exactly what you might think he's going to have. The only real difference is that instead of the standard male double jointed elbows, we have got a single, but I think it works out pretty well. I don't have any true issues with articulation on this guy. Now in the looks department, old Multiple Man here is pretty standard stuff. He's not too crazy. There's nothing really new about him except for when we talk about heads. He is, of course, on that Bucky Cap body, and I've said time and again, more and more recently, I think, that I'm just getting tired of that body, but I do think it works well for this figure, so I don't have any true gripes there. It's just old and it's been used over and over again. We do have this trench coat here. It's a separate piece with the arms being their own sculpted pieces, so if you took the jacket off, he would look quite goofy underneath. But we saw this most recently with Spider-Man Noir. It's got a little wash on the collar to bring out the sculpt, but for the most part, it's just brown plastic, kind of devoid of any real paint. There's not really any paint on the arms, but they mesh and flow well with the rubbery plastic for the jacket. I think it looks pretty good. It's obviously not seamless, but I'm okay with that. We have got paint on his upper torso and on his ribs there, just the yellow with a little black outlining in the middle. And overall, it's okay. I've got a little kind of fading on the edges on this piece over here on the right, well, his left, but his right and your left is pretty solid, pretty clean, and then on the rib area down here looks pretty good as well. So I'm overall pretty happy with the way he looks from the neck down, and there's really nothing from the waist down. He is just cast in the blue plastic, but realistically that's kind of the suit, so I'm okay with that. But the big draw in terms of sculpt for me personally, in terms of how he looks and what makes him uniquely Multiple Man, are of course the heads, and that's right, heads. So he comes with 3 different heads, so we're going to take a look at each of those because those are as well all of his accessories. Now in terms of these head sculpts getting up close, we are going to look at the one that I like the most first. There's not really a bad one, this is just the one that I prefer the look on because I think this smirking head is kind of quintessential Jamie Madrox because he is really just a jerk a lot, and he's kind of a smart aleck, and I think the smirk on this face really fits the bill. We've got the suited head, so he's still in costume. This is not his unhelmeted or unsuited head. It's got the blue paint with the yellow stripe running down the top. We've got the X logo, and the paint apps on that, while not perfect, I think they're pretty good, and I'll give them a pass because they're so small and such fine details for a Marvel Legends figure. I think they look pretty solid. Where it really shines is that smirk, the overall facial features. The eyes are looking off to his right. It's not a mistake. That's how it's supposed to be. So it's a kind of a side glance with a smirk, and I just really like it. I think it's quintessential to his character. It very much looks like how I expect him to look when I'm kind of thinking about Jamie Madrox. Next up, we've got the Unmasked Head, and this one I thought was entirely reused, but it's not. I thought this was reused from the Peter Parker, Mary Jane, Toys R Us 2-pack, because he has an unmasked head there, but it's not. This is actually, it's subtle, but it's definitely different. This one is actually very tightly jointed on this ball peg too. But I think this looks really good. You know, it's kind of just a stoic, rather basic head, but paint apps are solid, hair is cleanly textured, eyes are straight. No, nothing to really gripe about here. I don't know that I'm going to display it until I get other figures. But yeah, that's a solid unmasked Madrox for sure. And then lastly, we have got the final head, the final accessory. This is his scowling, his angry face. And in the same vein that he is kind of a smart aleck and a jerk, he is also very much a hothead. So I dig the fact that they gave us this kind of head as well. It's very similar to the other one, to the other masked head, except the expression is different. So he's very much scowling, he's angry, he's got the gritted teeth, and you can see that there. So yeah, this is another good one. I think they're all very solid. They all kind of do different things for the character. They put him in different situations. So if you can get your hands on multiple figures, you've really got a lot of display options with this guy. So overall, I think I'm happier with this figure than I originally expected I would be. It's on the Bucky Cap body, which is definitely a negative for me just because I'm tired of it, but it definitely works here too. There is a lot of reuse on this figure in general, which is okay, I get it. And I do like the 3 heads that we got, especially that smirking head. That really steals the show for me. That is quintessential Jamie Madrox because he's just such a jerk. But I do dig this figure. I think it worked out a lot better than I had anticipated. I am unfortunately going to have to track down multiple figures. I don't know if I really need to do that, but I feel compelled now. So that is going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends Multiple Man figure from Hasbro. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.